Almost 1 in 4 of us gamble online at least once a month. Now, such easy access has led to around 1 million women in Britain now being at risk of harms from gambling. Statistics indicate that women can be as adversely affected by problem gambling as men, with high proportions of guilt and impacts on mental health. Now, I'm going to find out more about the relationship between gambling and women and what we can do about it. So I've set up a call with psychotherapist and leading expert in women's gambling, Liz Carter, and also GP, Dr. Ellie Cannon.
Guilt is a really uncomfortable emotion, particularly for women, and guilt around excessive gambling can be from not spending time with loved ones, spending too much time on the gambling apps, as well as, of course, guilt about financial matters, spending money that should be used elsewhere. And what we know is that guilt can actually lead to mental health problems and mental illness such as depression and anxiety.
Many women develop a problem with gambling because they're using it to escape from a trap. That situation causes them so much stress, depression, or anxiety that they cannot tolerate being in their own thoughts and feelings.
There are some really key early signs that gambling could be encroaching on your life. Firstly, if you're losing track of time when you're gambling, if you're losing more money than you can afford to, and also if you're hiding your gambling habit from those around you.
Okay, now that I know the facts and theory, I'm going to meet Tracy from Essex to hear her gambling story. Tracy, thank you so much for talking with me today. The first thing I want to ask you is about how gambling took over your life.
I just sort of got lost in it. It sort of somehow, it was filling a void that, anything else that was going on in my life, while I was doing that, nothing mattered. And I always felt like I was present, but not emotionally or physically. I was an outsider looking in. And any problem, whether it be good news, bad news, it'd be like a trigger for me to gamble because I couldn't face a lot of things. Gambling became another child. And being a woman, it was very hard to get help. You want to be the perfect mum. You want to keep the perfect home.
Can you talk about your experience of seeking support and, how easy was that?
I realised that I'd got to the stage where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I went on GambleAware, and so I contacted every service I possibly could, and I was very lucky.
What was the hardest thing you had to face?
The hardest thing I had to deal with was being in such a male-dominated arena. Gambling addiction in women has accelerated. It is nothing to be ashamed of, and there is so much help out there.
So how is Tracy now? Are you on the mend?
I'm happy. And I've got peace of mind. Mainly, I haven't got any secrets anymore.
Tracy, thank you so much for talking with me today. The National Gambling Helpline is free to call and is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I spoke to one of their advisors to find out how they can help.
So some people will be calling us for preventative measures where they realise that they can't stop thinking of gambling. We will guide them through their treatments of, for example, one-to-one, face-to-face, or on the phone. And we can also do groups, as well as there's the chat forum online that they can get on their own and talk to somebody who's in the same position as they are, or to the Be GambleAware website for further information and advice if they need it. In our society, we see women as the carers, the mothers, the nurturers, much more responsible. With that stigma, it's very difficult for them to pick up the phone and call because they're embarrassed. Sometimes they also feel that they've done something wrong, so they start questioning themselves. But there are ways of dealing with the situation.
If you would like free advice and support on how to keep your gambling under control, search Be GambleAware.